Hi everyone, I am Pankaj. If I speak and you disagree, that's freedom. But if I speak and you're offended, does that make me dangerous? You see, speech is powerful. You can heal, you can destroy, you can unite or divide. In a democracy, my voice is my vote. In a dictatorship, my silence is survival. They say we're free to speak, but what if the wrong word cost you your job? What if a sentence gets you jailed? What if truth sounds like rebellion? Then freedom becomes fear. There was a time when truth was sacred, now it's suspicious. There was a time when questions opened minds, now they open investigations. What changed? Maybe it's not the words, maybe it's what they threaten. Maybe truth is dangerous, not because it's false, but because it's hard to control. Government says speak freely, but only until you ask why. Religious leaders say, express yourself, but only until your thoughts go off script. Society says be honest, but only if it's easy to hear. The moment speech stops fitting the narrative, it stops being protected. And dress it up in labels: hate speech, blasphemy, misinformation. And yes, hate exists. Words can be violent, tongues can turn into weapons. But the problem isn't just hatred, the problem is who gets to define it. When truth becomes offensive and offense becomes illegal, then power starts writing the dictionary. A journalist exposes corruption, she's silenced. A protester speaks for the voiceless, she's branded a threat. A comedian cracks a joke? Now they call him blasphemous. Free speech doesn't die in loud moments. It dies in quiet edits and subtle laws, in headlines that twist facts into fear. They don't need to burn books anymore, they just need to label them dangerous. And while they fight over what can't be said, no one asks why people want to say it. We never ask why the youth are angry, why the poets are restless, why the marginalized are loud. Because asking why would mean listening, and listening might lead to change, but change is inconvenient, especially for those who benefit from it. Humans now look at us living in a world where algorithms decide what's important. Trending means truth, outrage sells, and empathy is bad for business. We don't argue to understand. We argue to win, to cancel, to silence. One wrong sentence and your entire life becomes a footnote to your worst moment. They don't give people time to grow. We don't forgive. We don't ask, what did you mean? We just punish and move on. But here's the irony. While we silence each other for being offensive, the truly dangerous voices grow louder. They speak in codes, they hide hate behind slogans. They smile on camera and stab in policy. They know the game. They know that real power isn't in shouting, it's in shaping what others are allowed to shout. So, what do? Do we silence everyone just in case? Do we delete every uncomfortable truth? No, because silence is not peace. It's pressure. And when pressure builds, it doesn't disappear. It explodes. We need to stop confusing discomfort with danger. We need to stop confusing disagreement with hatred. We need to stop pretending that offense is always oppression. Because not all offense is equal, and not all speech is safe. But that's the price of freedom. Real freedom. Messy freedom. Uncomfortable freedom. Let the racist speak so we can confront him. Let the liar talk so we can answer with truth. Let the radical scream so we know where the fire is. But also let the questioner speak. Let the rebel write, let the artist draw, let the citizen ask. Because if we silence every wrong idea, we also risk losing the right ones. We teach children not to shout, but we never teach them how to listen. We train adults to obey, but never to think. We punish expression, but reward silence. And then we wonder why no one speaks honestly anymore. So here's the question. Do you want a world where everyone agrees because they believe or because they're afraid? Because the difference is the line between a free society and a controlled one, between conversation and compliance, between freedom and fiction. If you shout and I shout, we make noise. But if you speak and I listen, we create meaning. And meaning is dangerous more than chaos, more than value. Because meaning can move people, it can shift history. So, hold your voice like a flame, it can burn or it can light the way. Speak not to destroy, but not to please either. Speak to reveal, to resist, to remind the world that silence is never safety, it's surrender. And when all else fails, remember, if I speak and you disagree, that's freedom. But if I speak and you're offended, that doesn't make me dangerous, it makes us human. It makes us different. It makes us alive. Thank you for your time.